100 years ago, Nikola Tesla discovered a healing technology that threatened the entire pharmaceutical industry. The day he died, the government seized everything. For 100 years, this technology was hidden. Until now, plasma is back. Tesla Club, tzla.club.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thursday's episode of Trending. Appreciate you joining me. Hantavirus, a pandemic treaty wake-up call. This is an article from Off Guardian, who of course do great stuff. Now, in terms of hantavirus, none of this is by accident. The timing is significant. It's not just appeared by chance. This cruise ship happened to happen. It's all being done intentionally. And I believe it is related to the World Health Organization's pandemic treaty, which is what this article will go on to suggest. Now, the reason why everything happens for a reason and the timing is always significant is because the government, and by the government I mean the one world government, which is basically what we have, they're control freaks. They're complete control freaks. They don't like situations that they where there's a little bit of, well, I don't know what could happen. They don't like that. They don't like that. And it's very much like, and I've said this a few times before, like an abusive partner. Because we, as the people of the planet, are in an abusive relationship with our governments. That's undeniable. If I said to you, I'm in a relationship and my partner wants to know where I am at all times, wants to go through my phone, wants to see what I'm buying, when I'm buying it, where I'm buying it, who I'm with, what I'm saying, you'd go, that's a bit weird, mate. I think you might be in an abusive relationship. Yeah, I think I might be. The hantavirus outbreak keeps on going. The case count is up to 11, with 9 being confirmed by PCR test. It's Groundhog Day. Wonder how many cycles of amplification they're using on that PCR test. Of course, the PCR test was invented by Kary Mullis. You know all this. Was invented by Kary Mullis. He won a Nobel Prize for it. He then went on to say that basically, if you go above, I think it was above 20 cycles of amplification, you can find anything and anything. You find anything you want. It's not supposed to be a diagnostic test. Now, during COVID, they were using 45 cycles. And in fact, the NHS was using 60 cycles for a large portion of that time when they were getting all their cases. So I'd love to know how many they're using. The French government is isolating their 5 cruise ship passengers and anyone those 5 people may have talked to, face to face or on the phone. It can spread through the phone. That's a symptom. And they are worried the virus may have mutated. Here we go. Mate, we love the mutations. Mutations great because they make you think of the Teenage Ninja Turtles, don't they? But also, turtle power, it sounds scary, doesn't it? A mutant. I've seen films with mutants in. Then the good guy is never played by a mutant. The other thing that it means is that you can expand the symptoms, can't you? So you can have an illness that's been around for centuries or whatever. You say, oh yeah, this is the symptom of it. These are the symptoms. These have been the symptoms since the dawn of time. Yeah, but we need more cases. We need to be able to say that more people are sick. Well, just say it's mutated, mate. Just say it's mutated. And it gives you earache now. Mate, do you remember when you could catch COVID through your ears? Those were the good old days. But yeah, I'm basically in 2020. A Dutch hospital is racing to curb the spread after a protocol breach. See, you can't breach protocols. That's why you need protocols. So you can do as you're told. I feel like I've gone through a wormhole. And it is 2020 all over again, which is a result because I can start putting bets on football matches and stuff that I know the results of. The spectre of asymptomatic cases is suddenly looming, with some experts warning it might be more contagious than previously thought. That'll be the mutation you've just made up. The World Health Organization Director General is warning we should prepare for more cases. Well, yeah, because you're going to go and create them with a fraudulent PCR test, just like you did before. You've got no imagination. Honestly, it's ridiculous. You've got a combo of a fraudulent test and the fraudulent premise. This is the beautiful thing, the asymptomatic part, that you can have a deadly virus, you've got deadly illness, oh mate, but you're fine. Imagine that. You're fine. Nothing wrong with you. You've still got a deadly virus. Have I? So I'm saying, guy's just done the 100 meters in 9.5 seconds. Whoa! I know, what's mad is his legs are both broken. They're both compound fractured. What? It's just 100 meter. What? Yeah, it's asymptomatic. He doesn't know it, but they're snapped and protruding from the skin. He just doesn't know it, and neither do you. But we did a test, and it says his legs are broken. All right, mate. Cool. Cheers. Ridiculous. For reference sake, hantaviruses are endemic in much of the world, and according to the most recent literature review on the subject, it's very unlikely it can spread from person to person. Yeah, but you've not taken into account the mutation. The mutation's just, it's just hailed an Uber, and it's on its way from person to person. They'll also rewrite that. You'll see that disappear, that literature that says that. And actually, they allude to that in the article. And I'm pretty sure, actually, Off Guardian put a link in the article to that literature. So download it before it disappears from the internet. Because that's what they do. There was actually a markedly bigger hantavirus outbreak a few years ago involving over 30 cases and 11 deaths. You didn't hear much about that. Why the panic now? Well, timing. The control freakery of the abusive partner needs the timing to be now. Because when that outbreak happened in 2018, there were different things they were pushing at the time. It was all Russia. It was the Skripal poisoning. You had Trump and Putin bickering and all that kind of stuff. So that was more important to the agenda then. This seems to be important to the agenda now. And the connections to the pandemic treaty, as this article is saying, are pretty clear, really. Because they've been desperate to get this pandemic treaty over the line. And lots of people have been kicking off about it, because essentially it will give the World Health Organization the power to take over governments, essentially. To take over. Because during COVID, what happened was, sound like Jethro, what happened was, all the governments, because it is a one world government, they were in lockstep with the World Health Organization. All the social media outlets, all the social media giants, they were in lockstep with the World Health Organization. All the media was in lockstep with the World Health Organization. But what you had is you had a couple of rogue countries, Tanzania being one of them, Sweden to a certain degree being one of them as well. And what they did is they provided another way of doing things and a rather good example. And nothing annoys these people and frightens these people more than a good example which is against what they want. It was Mark Twain said that, wasn't it? And that's true. So what they need with the pandemic treaty is to make sure that these good examples can't happen. I mean, they clearly, killed off the president of Tanzania and replaced him with a World Economic Forum puppet. But by that point, it was too late. Pandemic treaty will make sure that doesn't happen again. It will take over the sovereignty of government. And so rightly, people are kicked off about it. And there's been all these amendments and it's been to and fro and whatever. And it's kind of got through, but in some ways it hasn't. And they've been saying in the last couple of weeks that essentially the pandemic treaty is caught in a gridlock. That was their terminology. It's caught in a gridlock at the minute. Well, we need something to concentrate the mind then, don't we? Like I say, nothing happens by accident. So in this article, this is what the Off Guardian say. Let me put these events in a handy timeline for your convenience. May the 1st, the pandemic treaty is caught in a gridlock. That's not good, is it? May the 11th, Hantavirus outbreak offers, in the World Health Organization's words, a wake-up call. It's interesting, isn't it? And then on May the 18th, which is Monday, I think, the World Health Organization are having their World Health Assembly. If you had to guess, what do you think is about to happen? I reckon the gridlock's going to be dealt with. That's what I think. And I think you know that too, don't you? To be fair. They're going to throw more and more, and I'm going to come to another story later on, which is another virus which has arrived, and another cruise ship. Like I say, no imagination. They're going to throw more and more of this nonsense at us until they get what they want, if we allow it, of course. And again, there's another story I'm going to come to later relates to digital ID. That will almost certainly be part of this as well. The surveillance aspect. Just like an abusive partner wants to know where you are and what you're doing, who you're talking to, what you're saying. Because they're going to need that surveillance for tracing cases, knowing who you've spoken to, because you might have forgot that you met that person and passed it on to them and killed everyone. So we need to know everything about everyone at all times. Make it loads easier. Stop the next pandemic. You know they're going to pull that. But again, that's if we allow it. Hopefully, and I am encouraged actually, what I've seen so far is people laughing. Like they did with monkeypox. And they're always going to laugh at that. It's called monkeypox, crying out loud. But people just not buying it. The fear and the madness that you saw in the early days of Rona hasn't materialized yet in the early days of Hanta, which I believe is Hebrew slang for scam, nonsense, made it up, rubbish. Which is amazing, isn't it? What are the odds? But we'll see, because they're not going to stop pushing and pushing and pushing in an attempt to get people to submit to the fear. But hopefully they won't.
In 1943, the government seized Nikola Tesla's most dangerous invention, a healing technology that threatened Big Pharma's entire empire. They buried it for 100 years, but it's back, and over 1,000 people worldwide are using it right now. When you join Tesla Club, you get your own Tesla plasma device, 5 times more powerful than the original violet ray and built to last. You join a private Telegram group where members share breakthroughs daily. Stroke recoveries, cancer reversals, chronic pain gone in minutes. These aren't stories. These are yesterday's posts. You get lifetime support from people who've been where you are. Technical guidance, therapeutic protocols, a group that actually understands. And you get access to hundreds of documented experiments, real members, real results, real transformations. No prescriptions, no waiting for permission, no begging doctors who don't believe you. Just you, your machine, and a movement taking health sovereignty back. We're Tesla Club, private science club for self-directed healing. Visit tzla.club. Join the revolution.
Plasma. It's back! Don't mention the reptiles, Dave.
Even less is said about the Grey Pope, who some believe to be the true ruling power in the Vatican.
Humans emitting a MAC address.
All of them had Bluetooth signals.
I've never seen it before.
Queuing up to transition their children.
This is the ultimate suicide cult.
What if the symbols around us every day aren't just ornamental?
We lost 1,000 years of history.
What if they're instruction?
That state of awareness is not manipulatable.